I was just going to tell you what my blessings are. I have a lot of blessings. All I have to do is look at anything. Like let's do this. Okay, so right there. That is one of my incredible blessings. You think, what? What a strange thing to think. Those are pieces of birch bark that I found in the woods. They're big pieces. I had to clean them and cut them and get them ready. But I used them and I did videos at the same time. And I cut them and made them into fronts and backs of books with paper in the middle. And then, I was in the process of printing out. I don't have my teeth in. That's another of my blessings. I have teeth. Isn't that an amazing blessing? So I can, anything I mean, look at just what I see in this as I'm making this video. Look at, I have light. I have light right here. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And yet, look, I'm not sitting in the dark. I'm in the light. And look, what blessings. Like, he blesses me. Everything that's around me is a gift. All my ideas, it's all gifts. I'm grateful for the gift of Minecraft. And he imparted the creative idea, right? Like the creative realm is all owned by God, right? It's like it's not ours. It's this thing we tap into, right? And through it we get this flow. When you're writing, have you written? Oh, being a writer, to write and let it flow, and it's a wonderful flow. And maybe it's not writing that does that with you. Maybe it's walking or painting or something. But when you have that creative flow, it's such a gift. And I think about my life, and I play Minecraft. Well, he's always here, and so he's here in the Minecraft. Minecraft is here, and he's with me in Minecraft. And the blessings that I have in Minecraft of being able to walk in between beautiful bushes and enjoy interacting with animals, very sweet animals. Anyway, so he sent that idea, or somebody wanted an idea, and that is what he gave them. And so they went with it and created Minecraft as an alternate world. And yet, it's not an alternate world. It's God is with me when I'm there. He's with me, and I've got the same kind of questions for him when I'm with him in Minecraft as I do when I'm out here. Like, my questions for God are stuff like, how do I fix that? And then I'll be in that moment, and it extends, and I see a picture. And I see the picture is exactly how to do it. I mean, it's like a little YouTube video of me doing it properly. And it's not from me, right? And so we're not alone. And my blessings are not the things that you would think are blessings, which are the big stuff, like answers to prayers and the atonement of Jesus Christ and the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's so cool that God, who is here with us, has sent his son, and it's all written down, and there's been prophets over the years, and his hand has been in it all. And it's not different now from when it was then. You know, like we think about him leading the children of Israel out of bondage, and we have all different ideas right now because of this war that's going on, which completely messes up. Anyway, my brain hasn't adjusted to that yet. I can't reconcile it with the scriptures, I guess is what it is, because in the scriptures, when it talks of Israel, it's a whole different Israel than the one that lives on the other side of the planet. There are some similarities. There are some people that follow the old rules, all the old rules. Some people, not much. I'm not sure. I think it's a pretty modern city, modern place. I don't know. I mean, think about it. You're of a different genetic line than than many, and so it'd be kind of nice to go hang out with people who are the same as you. And Israel, I mean, it's a desert. It's kind of I wouldn't say tropical, but it's definitely, is it definitely not a cold and harsh environment? It's warm and sunny. Sun shines. I mean, so you could look at it as like a destination. Yep, let's move. Anyway, we have so much meaning that we put around everything. Did you hear the Supreme Court case? If you haven't heard it, you should hear it. It's very interesting because it's basics. It's right down to basics. It's like doing things from scratch. I've always liked baking and stuff from scratch, right? Making bread and cookies and vegetables and soups. Everything is scratch. There's not boxes of stuff. Anyway, and so listening to the Supreme Court having a conversation, or maybe they call it deliberating with, what's his name? The lawyer for Donald Trump, and the 9 Supreme Court justices. And while we looked at the picture of each of those people that was speaking and could read their name and position, we could hear them. And it was very interesting because these judges are just about the rules. They're just about the truth. It's really cool. Like what they're doing. I read things and I thought, you know, I've been reading and hearing bad things about the Supreme Court lately. But when you listen to those videos saying that, it's a whole different thing than listening to the Supreme Court conversation. Like the lawyer would say a point, make a fact, a point of argument. We think that the president should be immune so that he doesn't have angst about doing his job. Okay, and so the one justice says, okay, so what are you saying? And and he will have all of his little issue with all these little tentacles in it, and she will have just this, just light. You can think of not a beam of light, but a light that fills it all. And so, I mean, I'm sorry, don't want to get into political stuff, but this is the way, the spiritual way, the spiritual experience I had yesterday while I watched the Supreme Court talk to this judge. It was amazing because it was just the facts of the matter. Oh, well, it depends on the situation. And okay, what is the situation? Oh, well, the situation is that such and such and such and such. Is that right? Is that correct? Yes. It's very interesting because, everybody tiptoes around saying stuff. There's two sets of alternate truths out there now. What a strange situation. How strange. I mean, it's so weird. And it shows power. Satan has great power. If Satan can propose a lie and everybody believes it simply because he said it, then that person becomes very powerful, right? Like, to be able to go outside on a glorious, beautiful, sunny day and say, it is so dark out here. The weather is horrible. And then just, like we used to write a letter, and say how terrible the day is. It would get documented. You thought it was a terrible day. And yet it was such a beautiful day. This man, he's the greatest con that ever lived. I don't really know how many cons, or I haven't read their stories. Very interesting case study, Donald Trump is. Very, very interesting. Well, he is so far removed from the truth. He lives in a fantasy world. He hears them say, we're trying him for election interference. And he goes outside and he says, this is all about election interference. And the words are the same on both sides, and they mean exactly the opposite. It's so weird because when you talk to somebody and you're talking about a fact, and depending on where they've gotten their news from, if they have been listening to Donald Trump, whatever media he uses, he doesn't even use the media anymore, right? He just comes out of the courtroom and all the press is gathered around. He who hates the press, he dresses up for them. He's ready for them. Every day he's got them a good story. He's the ringleader of this entertainment show. And it's all in his head. It's all a script. And he's writing it as he goes along. He's it's what an unusual, it's so unusual to turn everything on its head, and with enough energy it's like painting the world with it. It's like having a color of paint. There was something we used to watch on television, and there were these three little animals, and they were each holding a gallon bucket of paint. And one was pink, and one was white, and one was some other beautiful pastel color. Maybe it was pink and yellow, and I don't know. Whatever, imagine it. Green, baby, a very, very light green, milky green. Anyway, no, those aren't the colors. Whatever. See, I have a picture in my head of that little thing. Boy, I haven't seen that picture in my head in decades. You know? Does anybody remember that? Like, that's really interesting. It was at the end of a commercial, at the end of the credits, or near the beginning of a movie, and it was about, and I thought it said Technicolor. And these three little, I don't know if they were little squirrels or chipmunks. I don't remember markings on them, and I probably, little hand drawn squirrels are not going to look like what I now think. So my memories are going to mess up because I'm going to rememory it, and it's not going to work. And I'll never know what it was. Anyway, so I had quite a spiritual experience as I listened to this Supreme Court case. I listened to it 2.5 times. It's about 2.5 hours long each time. And it was so fascinating. It was like being in university, hearing the arguments. And it was like, these are the guys that know all the rules. Do you know all the rules? Do you know all of the laws, all of the rules, and where they came from and why they're there? And and they're and it's all based on the Constitution. Everything. It's all based on the Constitution. It's like the Constitution, it's like, I don't know, it's like it's the lava that's beneath everything. It's and from it comes all these little eruptions to take the volcanic, what's that word? Analogy farther. Can't start losing words. I've been losing words for years. I have so many blessings. I have a fan up there that is turning, and I can turn it off and on at the wall. And if I have a stick, I can probably do it from here. Did you used to do that when you were kids, to hook something to the light so that you could pull it and turn it off? You know, you have a string running up the wall and down over to your bed, and another one coming down to the floor and across and up, and depending which one you pulled, you turn the light on or off. Did you ever do it, or did you just imagine it? I think I just imagined it. But that was good enough, because I had this imaginary, I mean, it was just as much real, because I knew what it would be if I did it. So I already had the picture in my head. I already had the little movie I had made before actually having made it, right? I knew it was going to happen. I could see myself pulling the little string and the light turning on, and what the light is like when it's on. I could experience that. And then I knew what it would be like to pull the other string, and it would be a little awkward because it would have to go over and down and up, which would be different than just over and down. That would be easy to pull, but this one is a little harder. Hi, little animal. Well, I'm just sharing some feelings and experiences and my blessings, and I had this really spiritual experience while watching the Supreme Court the other day and yesterday. And I'm going to watch it over and over again because I want to know what they're talking about. You know, you can listen to them talking and you know what they're saying to each other, but you don't know the history of what they're talking about. They say, well, and they will name a case like Roe v. Wade, but that's not one of them. It's I don't know, Blaze. That's right. Well, in Blaze, and so this is what the lawyer's always doing. He's always saying he's coming up with some former case. See, this is how it works, which isn't what I thought. And it's not like the guy did it or the guy didn't do it. It's like, what exactly is the law on this fact? And so they together, they're not creating the law. They're because of their extensive knowledge of the law. You know, like you really don't know all the laws unless you're a lawyer. But to be a judge, to be a lawyer is different, but to be a judge, there's this deep honesty because it's just finding that fact, finding the exact fact in the Constitution. They could have said this because over here they did say it for the states. They did know about this and they could say it, but they didn't say it. And they didn't say it about this and this and this and this and this. So then why would they say it about this? And well, we go back to Franklin. This is the lawyer now, and he's coming back and he talks about what was decided the facts were. Did you ever do geometry and have to solve a theorem? The theorem would be something like the two sides of an isosceles triangle are equal. No, the third side of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the angle of the third side or something like, I mean, I have no idea. But anyway, so do you remember those? I was in grade 10 and that's like what we did. We drew things with our protractors and our pencils and our rulers and our compasses, our squares and our compasses. Yeah, we learned how to make a square with a compass. And then we learned how to make the angle on the square. And it was so cool. We could make, and we learned how to write down what that number was and the little icon that you draw with it. Icon was not an icon back then. I really loved geometry. And so in geometry, they would say, okay, so this is the fact. This plus this equals this, or whatever the fact was, which was not that because that would be wrong. And then you would have to prove that fact. And so you would be able to prove that a line that is perpendicular to another line is at a 90-degree angle by definition. Okay, so that was your proof. That was the proof of the part of the proof of this theorem. This is amazing that this is coming out of my head. This is amazing. Stuff is in there. Anyway, it's like going through old boxes. Sitting on the floor in the attic and going through stuff and looking at it. You know those boxes where you put stuff? The stuff that you want to look at one day, or you know, you don't want to throw it out. With those things in the future is when you decide to dejunk. And on dejunking day, you open the box and you go through everything in the box. And so you can relive all of those memories. It's all right there. And there might be one or two that are no longer useful for the box, and they may go. And so you may feel, maybe the envelopes all went. If you cut out the return address off of the envelope, like, this is old school, man. This is really old school. Wow. This is like walking through a history book. Things you find in these old boxes. So memory is an amazing thing. We can relive things that aren't happening right now. I know, it's like our mind is full of all these little videos. And they're our own videos that we've lived or that we have created spiritually, but not physically. So imagine you make cookies, someone comes, you give them the cookies, they are so happy. Okay, there's a little story. Okay, now replay that. Go ahead. You make cookies, the person comes to the door, you come up and you give them the cookies. They smile and you smile. You're chattering on as you're getting the cookies. Oh, I have just the right thing for you. I've been cooking cookies for you. And there's all this happy feeling. That is in my head as a video now. So I have created that spiritually. I have not yet created it physically. And right now it is a part of me forever. Now, sometimes, in fact, all the time, I get answers to prayers. Well, there's different kinds of prayers, right? There's a prayers like he's always in the situation with you, which is really cool if you think about it, because he knows exactly what you're looking at. He knows exactly what you're trying to do because he knows your head. He can see what you're trying to do. And you can talk to him while you're doing it. It's like he's your sidekick. You're his apprentice. It's like he's on the phone telling you how to do it. That's really what it's like. That is my relationship with God. He is here with me. I don't have to wonder, is God real? Is there a God? Does he love me? Is there a family of God that I'm part of? Am I here on this earth to learn and grow and to walk by faith and to go home? What am I here for? Today, Mary died with circumstances. What is that word? Come on, memory, let's open that box. Where is it? Throwing things out this way or that. Where is that word? Now I forgot the sentence. Oh, well. Have I ever heard God? Well, I get movies. Like, if you just feel. And praying. I'll be praying. I'll be talking about something like this happened. Show. I'm not thinking this right now is a. It is the project of the day. This is the project of the day, and every day has a project. Some of the projects are disaster mediation. Some of the projects are body misfunction, like fixing the robot. Some projects are things we feel like doing. Like, we have the power to create, right? We have all kinds. We women, my goodness, the power to create. Oh my gosh. We're in partnership creating babies. I mean, people emerge from us. People who have been influenced by their time within us. I mean, they are part of us. And this power that we have to be part of creation, oh my gosh, and talk about memories, you know? So every day we have a project, and in that project, my right hand, um, no, I got this mixed up. I am the apprentice, and he is the teacher. And he's with me everywhere I am. And every time I get to a little roadblock, and it's like, huh? What do I do next? Huh? You know, like the screw won't unturn. What do I do? Or the child didn't react the way I was imagining. Or things didn't, yeah, it was the unexpected, the unprepared for unexpected. Because, you know, you're going along doing your project. And sometimes the project is, you know, repairing the screen on the house because the raccoons have wrecked it. Or, you know, like the project can be a construction project, or it can be playing Minecraft, you know? And I keep wanting to say he's my right-hand man, because that is the words that in our earthly life we use when we're doing something together with somebody else. And we have a word for that, or a phrase for that, my right-hand man. But we do not have a phrase for, of course we do. What a silly thing. We don't have a phrase for being the apprentice to God. We have a phrase for being an apprentice, for being a student, for learning. And that's what these projects are. Each of these projects is like a little course. You've signed up for this course. Oh, is that the course I signed up for this week? And good thing I don't have a calendar and know what's coming next week. I was a little loud there. I hope I didn't bother my family. So, you know, I want to get back to what we were talking about with the Supreme Court and with geometry and theorems and proving theorems. And that's what it's like in the courtroom. I mean, I don't know how the justices, it's like, I think the 9 of them are in a room, plus the other guys. And it's not just one justice that's really trying to figure out what the Constitution says, really trying to find the proof of this law. Where exactly is the proof? And why is this truth? Why is this need to be the law? It's very interesting. They were talking about the immunity. It's interesting, having watched the entire Supreme Court interview or conversation for so many hours. I watched it over and over. I began to understand not just. I began to understand it deeper. I began to understand more of the words. Like in the beginning, there's a million words, and you know most of the words, but you don't know all of them, and so you just skip them. Like he refers to blaze. Okay, whatever. I'll skip that one and keep going. It's also really helpful when you turn up the speed. I realize I'm learning about myself. You know how, I don't know if you do it, when I Every time I see things that are all exactly the same, I count them. Always. Every time I pass the balsam fir trees I planted, I count them all. I see a little row of things, I count them. You know, I see the blades on the pen and it's moving, but I count them anyway, and it's wrong. And I always try and do it right, but I should just go with it and just count and 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 count. I used to like to count when I was young. I still count. You know, if I was just sitting here looking at all the blessings in my room, would you like to see the blessings in my room? Well, look what you're looking at. I mean, isn't this the coziest little environment? I mean, doesn't this have the most wonderful spirit in it? I mean, God's here with me. He's here with me and we're having a conversation. And it's like that all the time. He's my right-hand man. I'm not used to being a student, so I have to get a new phrase. He's my teacher. They used to say that about the Buddha and the guru. He's my teacher. But we don't have to go to somebody for the teacher because he's here. He's here. How can people think he doesn't exist? So I know he exists because, and I know he's here, not just because I believe he's here, but I know he's here because he responds to me. We were talking about our little videos in our heads. I'm with him and I have a situation and I say, oh, huh. And my head, I let things happen and I just let things happen. And in a little while, there's a video of me doing it the right way. All the little video parts of the things that I need to do it the right way. That is the answer right there. That is revelation. That is being talked to from God. That is his voice. That is how I hear him. He tells me what I don't know. And he makes it easy. He really makes it easy. I don't have to go and investigate and read and study and get the blessing and get the gift, but not right away. He gives it to me. If it's a mechanical thing in front of my face, sometimes if it's like I can't fix situations. I'm in situations. It's not up to me to fix a situation. It's up to me to be in the situation learning from God, who is in the situation. This is his situation, which he's invited me into. And what we are going to learn today, well, lately, as I'm 68, I learn anatomy lessons. So today we're going to learn anatomy lessons. What happens if you start taking a new medication? How does that affect you? Well, let's have an anatomy class on that. And so that's what I'm learning now. My parents used to be always having to go to the doctor, had lots of doctor's appointments. When I was with my mom taking care of her 10 years ago, it's amazing because when you write your comments, I am reading the comments. I'm working my way back from the latest. Every time anybody comments, those are the ones I read today. And I'm working my way back through today. And then, because I don't get many in a day, 2, maybe 1. And then I'm getting back and I'm in 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was taking care of my mom. My mom was a smart lady. She was really smart. You know, I think that part of me comes alive when I hear these Supreme Court justices who are so smart, using their intelligence, not being stupid idiots. It's a breath of fresh air. There's just, I'm sorry to have to reveal my true feelings about this, but there are a lot of stupid idiots on this planet. Really stupid. I'm sorry, this is a very not nice thing to say. And why did I go there? What am I supposed to learn from this moment? People are not stupid idiots. My son has said that. I guess maybe he got it from me. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I have always thought this is the most horrible thing that my son does. He calls people stupid idiots. Everybody's a stupid idiot. What if he got it from me? I mean, we don't hear what we say. I don't hear what I say. I almost don't hear what I think. It just comes out in my mouth. But some of that, a lot of that, I think, this got me in trouble all my life because this conduit, right? This conduit that between me and God's answers, me and the creativity, like Willem writes music, right? He's got this conduit where he can bring those ideas into life. He can take them into reality. And the inventor of Minecraft, he was given a beautiful gift. What a gift to be able to I mean, it's like a virtual reality where you can make your own resort and walk around in it, and all the things I mean, it takes a lot of money to do this stuff, to build all these buildings, and yet in there you can. It's like being in heaven. Really, I mean, in heaven you can put it on creative mode, right? It's like being in heaven. You can create everything. I mean, look at what God and Jesus Christ did. I mean, they created this earth. What a huge undertaking. I mean, oh my gosh. Can you believe that? That is so enormous. They got things moving. The elements came together following some natural law, some law. Here we are, full circle. God created the earth according to law, right? Like the way cells multiply. It is a law. There's a way it works. It only works one way. The way plants do chloroform, it only works one way. There is a law that is governing chlorophyll, and the production of chlorophyll. These are eternal laws. These are not laws that are arbitrary that God made up. Oh yeah, let's make this so this happens when that happens. It's like these are laws that have always existed. Like, what are you guys thinking about these things we're talking about? We've got a live chat if you feel like saying something. Live chats are kind of like life, aren't they? Like in life, I've got this live chat going with God. And that's why praying to him, I decided at some point let's go to where it came from. It was an idea to pray on YouTube. And the idea came from that place deep in the bottom inside of me, underneath all the reasons why and the theorems, is the proof down at the bottom. And that's where That's where it came from, was all the ideas, the theorems that were in my head between me and the proof were, you're supposed to pray in your closet. You're not just supposed to pray online. How would it be reacted to by people who I esteem to be a great spiritual import? A great spiritual. How would they react to that? Would they do that? It's like for general conference, there's prayer said at the beginning and at the end, and there's some rules for the prayer lengths for in that formal setting, but it's a meeting, and you start the meeting with a prayer and you end the meeting with a prayer. Well, if I'm going to spend my day doing a project with God, like today, we got to deal with how to get this car out. And he's working on giving me inspiration. And so far, we tried A, and we tried B, and we tried C, and now we're on to D. And he's been with me during this. He showed me things that were happening as I did it. He showed me that if I let Daniel tell me how to get it out, having been stuck in many, many snowbanks over the years as a driver, and having a son who was not a driver when for most of those years that he was here. He was a child growing up, and then he was away, and so he does not have, and he's had a motorcycle but not a car, and so his experiences, the number of times he has gotten the vehicles unstuck out of a snowbank or mud, he may never have done it, or he may have done it once or twice. And yet, when I look at the situation, I don't know what he knows. I have no idea what he knows. But I know what I know. And I look at the situation and I know what the experience was. Each of the experiences. I know different experiences where I've been up on, okay, so we have many theorems here. But what is the proof? What is down below everything? And so the proof, why I started praying on YouTube, even though it says to pray in secret, and I wondered how it would be reacted to by people that I respected and who were my teachers in the church. And those were the theorems. The theorem is, it will not be reacted to well by God, because in the scriptures it says, pray in your closet. And yet we pray in meetings. Anyway, I realized that what he was telling me was personal, and that I needed to do that because that's what he wanted me to do. And so I do it now. And I know it may be weird, and people may think, why is she doing this? I guess there's evangelicals, right? There's these, used to be people we would watch, the famous people who have come and gone that were big names on television. People followed them spiritually. They were the leader, and they were making money off it. And that was interesting point in the discussions yesterday. It was really like, oh, it's so cool when they said, like, just the facts. And what was it? What was the situation? Oh man, I lost that one. So that's how I hear him. And I think celestial. I don't think I don't think um um sometimes, like, this is not a truth. I do, well, as much as anybody says that they think celestial, I guess that's about as much as I think celestial. But I think more celestial than many. I don't see death as a big deal. I think of death as a doorway that you have to walk through. Hopefully it's not painful. But you don't stop being you. Things don't stop. Things don't change. They change. Yeah. Yeah, they change. Yeah, the spirit is limited on the earth. I mean, this earth life is like, they talk about the degrees of glory, the sun, the moon, and the stars. Well, this one is like the brightness of a star. And so if you think of that in spiritual terms, that there's the greater the light, the greater the spirit, or you're in the proof. Once you're in the light, you're in the proof, which is really cool to be in the proof. But the proof is that way down at the very bottom of everything. That's where it is. But the Holy Spirit's promptings are different. Those are the videos. And the urges. Urges, is that the right word? No, the pushes, you feel compelled. You feel like there's pressure coming from deep within to do what's right. Doing the right thing, it's so random, isn't it? Like, I'm with him and he's here with me, and we're doing the project of the day. We're getting through these dishes, so that my back I can sit down and my back will stop hurting. Or we're enjoying each dish and looking at each dish and seeing it as blessings. This dish is a blessing. This dish came from my mother. It has a new chip on it. This dish came from the dump. This is such a beautiful plate to get from the it's a free reuse center. It's not dirty, it's very clean. And everything is free. But if you feel joy in the moment for the things, that's what your life is. Because in the end, what is your whole life? Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? I don't know if that's even the most important of the questions. I think the most important question is, how does living a life every day, doing whatever it is I do in my routine every day, where I go, what my responsibilities are, at the end, all my life is a series of them, ? So then, when I look at Mary's life, I mean, I was with Mary every day. It's interesting because I'm also with God every day. It's interesting that talking to myself is not talking to myself, it's talking to Him. Like He's with me. Have you ever thought about the miracle it is to have an inner voice? Really? Think about that. You have the ability to think and talk to yourself without making any noise, without actually having, your body doesn't have to do the work. There's this inner voice where you talk to yourself, you have thoughts, and you talk to God. I talk to God. But I don't necessarily stop and pray often, and maybe that's one of the reasons. I mean, I can now entertain the theorems of why I am praying online every day. I know I'm supposed to pray at night too. I mean, he wants me to do that, but I don't feel like it. How we limit ourselves. There are things that he can't do for us. Do you realize how powerful you are? You can block him completely out of your life. You can block out the biggest, most powerful being. You can decide he doesn't exist and make him go away. And so you are completely away from him because you don't believe he's there. It's not real. That's all crap. And we are so powerful over ourselves, over our thoughts. We're not powerful over other things, other people. We can pretend we are. That's pride. You know, there's this Vietnamese little boy and his father. It's called the Greens, the Green family. And they're in Jamaica. And I love their language because it's like the proof. We're up here in the theorems. But it's the still small spirit of the bottom of everything. That's why I loved being in Jamaica. I love the Rostam, and I love the Rasta culture, the religion, because it was right here, right now. He is with us. Hear that thunder, that is him. But it's not him way up there. He's here. Where are you going to hide? Where are you going to hide? Run. Where? You can't hide. Somebody was saying to me that I threaten them. That I've been considering, you wonder, why does this person, why are we friends? Why are we not friends? What is going on here? And my effort to make friends often doesn't work because I'm who I am. And who I am is not always now where do I get, what is the next word I use here? Who I am is not who people want to be around. I'm sometimes quite energetic. I don't stay on the same subject for more than 20 seconds. It's a real hassle. I mean, try and get me to understand what I said. Good thing it's all recorded. But I was talking to Izzy about it. Have you met Izzy? Izzy, if you go back through the videos, you'll find the one about how to take candy from a baby, okay? And what other one was he in? Oh, Battle Hill Forge. Look up those two, and you'll find Izzy. Izzy's so cool. Anyway, so I was talking to Izzy. I was saying that, Mary died, and it was very. I was not. I would have been I would have been handled the situation differently. And I have felt discouraged about the way the situation was handled. And it has affected me. And so the way I was treated and who I was shown to myself to be to them, that was a rude awakening. And as I mean, that was the theorem, right? But what was the proof? Was it true? Was it real? What was the real proof? Anyway, and so in trying to figure that out, see why I loved that Supreme Court stuff yesterday? Oh my gosh, it was so cool. They were just all about the proofs, not the theorems. All we hear are theorems. Theorems, 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 theorems. But we never hear the proofs. And the Supreme Court had all the proofs that we've never heard of. And they knew where they were, and they were written down in the proof, which is the Constitution. Very interesting. I had no idea the relationship of citizens of the United States to the Constitution. I had no idea how big it is in our lives. It affects us minutely. You know, when you drive, like everything, every rule, every law is rooted in the Constitution. You have to have a constitutional reason that you can't let people drink and drive. It can't just be some arbitrary rule. And one of the things they said about absolute immunity, which is a theorem, the proof was that when the founders did what they did, they were leaving a monarchy, right? They were leaving England and the king. They were getting away from the king. They did not want to be part of the king anymore. They did not want to have to be the king's English. I mean, not the king's church. They wanted, Catholicism was not the be-all and end-all. They wanted to have their own Protestant ideas. And the king thing was not working for them. And they came over here. They couldn't even have fabric. They could grow sheep. They could spin it and make thread, but they could not weave it. They were not allowed. They had to send it all to England, where it would be woven and then sent back. They would have to buy the woven cloth from their own homespun. But there was this black market going on, and in the black market, which is interesting to see it from that way, because when you're thinking about the theorems and the proof, and the black market, was it right or was it wrong? And the black market was that a man had a wagon and a loom, and he would take his loom all apart, and it would all be sticks, and he would arrive at your door, and he would set up his loom in your front room. In your room, you only had one room. He would set it up there, and your spinning wheel, your big walking spinning wheel, would have to move over. And so we'd all be in the same room. Everybody sitting around on the chairs, talking, reading, doing needlework, stoking the fire, stirring dinner over the fire. And the light is all just from the fire. Or a candle. But the fire would be easier and less. Boy, I just took us to some other place, didn't I? Where were we? geometry proofs and geometry theorems. I want to learn about them again because I think that they are basics. They are I think that it's so awesome to have a Supreme Court that you actually, I mean, it's like I used to think, wouldn't it be nice to just go to God and have him tell you? You want to know something, wouldn't it be nice to just go ask him and he would tell you? It's pretty cool that I do and he does. And he get those videos. That's the way he answers me, is in videos. It's not like I'm hearing voices. Sometimes I hear his voice. Mostly it's my voice. And it's my voice with his words. But Satan also uses my voice. And he speaks in the first person. I'm this, I'm too bad for that. Oh no, I'm unforgivable. I'm, it's a bad place to go. And Satan takes you there, and he's got the ability to use that inner voice. He doesn't hear what's going on in the inner voice. He can't know. God knows. But he can't hear that. He can put stuff there. He can be in that inner voice and be a first person negative Nan. I'm cold. Should turn this heater on behind me. I probably turned it down. Is the heater turned down? Hold everything. What's the heater at? Boy, this technology is cool. 0, 10, 20. Is that? I can't read them. They're all backwards. Can you read them? So it's at about between 20 and 25? I don't know. When does it start at? 10, 15, 20? 25, 30, 35? So 20, 22. Oops. Hey, you want to see that way? These are more of my blessings. A gymnastics thing for my granddaughter. A uplifting sunflower wisdom sign from which I am making plaques. Like these plaques up here. This one says, time is so everything doesn't happen at once. Isn't that cool? Those are my white hairs. There's a song, a hymn, and it talks about when white hairs adorn your head. When white hairs your head adorn. I'll never, no, never, no, never, no, never, no, never, no, never, no, never forsake. Being down through all age, all my people shall prove. There's this song, God moves in a mysterious way, his wonders to perform. He plants his footsteps on the sea and rides upon the storm. Deep in unfathomable mines of never-failing skill, he treasures up his bright designs and works his sovereign will. Ye fearful saints, fresh courage take. The clouds ye so much dread are big with mercy and shall break in blessings on your head. Judge not the Lord by feeble sense, but trust him for his grace. Beneath a frowning providence, he hides a smiling face. God doesn't get upset with us. He's the teacher. He's here, standing quietly beside us, being the teacher. And he's not railing us out and saying, I'm sorry, not you. He's here. He's he's how I get through this life. This life is very hard. And I'm very weak, and it's very hard. Sometimes it's hard to find things to do. I never was hard before. I used to be able to always find things to do and go here and go there and be creative, and now it's so hard because I'm limited. I'm no longer in that I can no longer fly with the eagles. I had to put my wings away. And now I'm on foot like a crow with broken wings and sometimes a bit lame. So now what does the crow do? The crow spent his whole life flying over everywhere and looking at everything. And it was never boring because he could always, the eagle, the crow, could always stop and look at this for a while and then carry on. You know, being a mom and 5 children, that was a whole lot of fun. I really loved being a mom. But on a daily basis, it was so hard. I had no idea how hard it was, how hard it could be. I had no idea that you could do things this hard and still live. People would say, "Oh my gosh, how in the world did you do that?" I would think, well, I don't know. It didn't kill me, so I was still alive and it kept going, and so it was finally over. Because like everything else, it's just a project of the day. Raising children was not a project of the day. It was a lifelong, it was the way life was. It was what life was. It was raising children. But then it ended. I mean, in dribbles and drabbles, they all left and had their own lives and grew up, and so different. Well, things when you're older, I think that I did a lot of things when I was younger because of the pressure. I had a lot of pressure to make something for dinner. I mean, there was arsenic hour. If there was not something to put on the table soon, it all was going to break loose. And it would have been all hell, would have broken loose in my house. And instead of my house being like heaven on earth, it would have been hell. And it was. That was hell and heaven. So all hell broke loose. So there you go. I'm not swearing. It's the proof. The proof? What is the proof of that? Is it a theorem? It's 5 o'clock. Willem's waking up. We're supposed to go to the temple today. But there's a possibility there's someone coughing who may need to not go to school. So I was going to go, but now I don't know. Now it's not safe to go because I don't want to not be here if I'm needed. It's too bad, eh? But good, better, best. You know what I was saying earlier about what is my life? It's each daily project all lined up, all the things I did as a routine. But it's more than that. It's my walk with my Savior, like being apprenticed to God, who's here and who has given me an inner voice. What a blessing. And I can speak to him and I can hear him answer me in ideas and in like knowing that I should do something. There was something I should do. Like I started to say these prayers, and that was something I should do. I didn't want to, but now I don't want to do the ones at night, but I know he wants me to, but I have to figure out, do I lay in bed and do it? Or do I say it in a chair before I get undressed, changed, and all that, you know? I have to figure out the logistics of saying a nighttime prayer. I mean, with you. Willem?
Yeah?
I was told there was a message for me that somebody might not be able to go to school tomorrow. Someone's coughing. So I'm not going to go with you today.
Oh, okay.
I'll be available for her.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, well, what a shame. Okay. Well,
It's okay. It's good. I feel really good serving. It makes me feel good to be able to make an improvement and to create more happiness. It's all creating, isn't it? I can create in this day what I want in this day. I can create a happy day with a cool project. It's fun that my son has projects. Both of my sons have projects, and my daughter has projects. My other daughter has work. My other son, I don't know, he draws, does stuff. Oh, my sweetheart is going to be wearing a suit next time I see him. He looks so nice in a suit. Oh, it looks like he's stoking the fire first. Maybe not. I have to turn this heater on so my feet stop freezing. I didn't put on fresh socks. I got up in the middle of the night and I put the clothes on that were on the back of the door in the bathroom. And these socks are on the floor. And if you ever put on socks that have already been worn, your feet will freeze in those spots where they're damp. But look, right beside me, I have another blessing in my life. Look at this. Homemade socks. And that one is mended. Is this one mended? Does this have a hole in it? I think they're in pretty good shape. I hear something very distant. Do you hear that? Is it the spring peepers? My tinnitus is so loud. Oh, look at the moon. Oh my gosh, it's a full moon. I thought it was not. I was out earlier. And I thought, why isn't it full? Since it was full the night before. Must have been a cloud in front of it. Just a small cloud because it was making it look like it wasn't a full moon. Isn't that interesting? I was like, I didn't know it was that far apart. That it had been that long ago that it was a full moon. Sorry, I have to get this sock on my foot. So you see me getting my sock on my. Yes, this is so funny. But here we go. Sock on foot. Situation complete. Ben and I have a project we're doing down at the marsh. I'll be able to hang out down there. Okay, now my feet feel warmer. I really need to turn the light on in here. See, this is what it looks like without the light on. It's kind of dark, and it's dark outside. It's stuff is sitting around. I have the little lights on at the top, which are so pretty. And I can see the reflections in there and in there. But let's, oh, and the full moon is out there. Okay, I'm getting up. I'm up. Oh, it took me so, I had to climb up on something yesterday. It took me so long to do it. Okay, let's, It is where I said it was. All right, now it's gonna be warmer. And I feel like I should be getting ready to go, but I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna turn this light on and that light on. There. That's better. Oh. Oh. No, no. Do you want to go out? Yeah, you need to go out? We are downstairs away from your babies. There is water in the bucket around the side. I know he won't know. He can't really hear me. Oh, Mongol now has come back. Morning stretch. I put the camera so it can see them when they're under there. Let's warm it up in here. Hi, darling.
I didn't see myself with it.
You didn't see it last night?
No.
Oh. We'll go see.
I'll have a search for it this morning. I have it with me.
Mm-hmm. Boy, am I ever stiff. I should swing on the swing. I need to finish fixing that swing. Where were you the last time you had it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that would be. Ah, I feel it warming up in here now. Good job.
I think they did have it at a district conference, but that's a while ago now.
Yes. Did you have it yesterday when you went to town? No?
Can't remember if anything. Might have, but I can't remember.
Thank you for doing the fire, Willem. Sure is cold, eh?
Yeah.
It's full moon. It's always colder on a full moon. I'll ask Daniel to just carry this out. He's so strong. You know, I bought a whole bunch of bananas the other day. There were several bunches, and they're gone. Oh, there's the drill. Interesting.
I ordered one gun for a test. And I buy a lot of guns, you see, these people be doing nothing before.
I was gonna dry them. That was the big idea. I'm gonna put this in there because this was my teeth are breaking, and I don't want the last of them to break. I find it easier to open it from this end. Anyway, so Anna made spinach, lettuce. A salad yesterday. Spinach, but had lots of garlic in it, and it was too much garlic for me after I had ground it up. Compost bucket is gone. So if I were to put coconut milk in, not coconut, almond milk in there. Never trust anything that's in the mutation chamber. I've lost my sense of smell. What is it called? I'm nose blind. Mmm. Very yummy. I was thinking I have to start eating more. Well, I can't chew anything, so I have to, because they're broken on the back, and they're going to break off very soon. I have been having experiences for many years. I'm getting pretty good at this experience. It goes in the garbage. I got this big jug. I was walking along the roadside and there was this big empty jug. I was looking for the housing that goes on the side mirror that sticks out. It's the back half is a housing, and I was driving around looking for it because I hit a deer the other day, and the deer did a big flip and he sort of smashed along the side of the car. But now I have a dent. It wasn't there, so now I have a dent that looks like it went with that one, with the deer accident. So we can just pretend that it's an okay dent. Oh, it feels so good to put my hands in front of there. So anyway, I took this and I cut this end off, and then I went over to the go ahead, Nancy, keep going, you're right in the middle. You're on a roll here. You could be actually having a conversation. I hope you have a lovely trip, darling.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're dressed for the occasion yet. I guess that's later.
Really? I thought I'd just leave in a couple of minutes.
These kids got all of these paintbrushes dirty. They ruined every paintbrush. There's a lot of paintbrushes they didn't wash, and they're all ruined. Why would they use this many? They don't have that many colors in the whole room. They just ruined them all. Just for the sake of ruining them. That's bad. Okay, maybe I'm all wrong on that. I don't understand how they did it. I mean, looks like it's glue or something on it. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. I thought if he gave this to Daniel and I were Daniel, I would turn it over and I would write poop on you. But he did send all these diamonds along too, right? So this is like a loving thing to do. So it's mixed, you know. I showed it to Daniel and he said, wow, Desmond surely does spend a lot of time trying to get my attention. Yes. Oh, we have others out. Oh, you're going to go be in charge. Okay. It's good to have a position or sense of responsibility. Are we coming in? Mutter, mutter. Oh, first birds are up. Who are you mad at? Good old Chubbles. You know, I have these strips I made. Remember I made them last summer? Well, I come out here and I plug away. Is that frost on there? It is. That's the robin. Look at that frost on there. Look at my blessing. My wonderful place. How you doing?
Fine.
Remember when I painted this painting? It's been a while now. I think this has been buried in the yard for years.
What was it?
This is a waterfall. Does it not look like a waterfall?
I remember seeing a thing of a waterfall a long time ago. Maybe this was it.
Could be. Do you want 2 hands? Here, let me take this for me. You must be kind, you must be pretty, very sweet and very pretty. Take us on outings, give us treats, play games.
Okay, I can't fit these things back into the fridge. Can you take care of that?
Yeah, go ahead, just do your stuff. Ignore it.
Yeah, okay.
Like most other problems, if you ignore it, it will go away.
Well, that's the philosophy. I should eat more. Okay.
Never be cross or cruel, never give us castor oil or gruel. Love us as a son and daughter, and never smell of barley water. You must be kind, you must be pretty, very sweet and very pretty. Take us on outings, us treats. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I am really taken with the Supreme Court, Willem. Like, that deeply affected me. To be able to listen to the laws and what exactly they are and how this whole system works. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you for getting up early enough to light the fire before you go. I would like to think that I would do such a thing for you, but alas, I am not as advanced, spiritually advanced. I could make waterfalls on my things. You have to paint the thing black first, and then you put the knife with the white, and then you drag it down. This is the beginning of a waterfall. These are the trees, the dark, deep woods. But this side already has a waterfall. Except I think that this is all faded away. But I have a bunch of paint right here I can just work on. Imagine that.
Remember when you used to get up and go to work? Those were the days, my friend. They thought they'd never end. Listening down to the life we choose, we fight another day. Those were the days, oh yes, those were the days. La la la, la 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 Okay, too much noise. Now I'm into cleaning up. Seem to have moved from one thing to another. We should have a prayer. We could do that. Are you leaving soon? Aren't you supposed to be gone at 6?
Yeah.
Time for a bridge game, eh? Oh well, judge not, Nancy. You don't know. Oh, the fire is nice. Thank you so much. Okay, balance, Nancy. Now. There we go. All right, I'll be in the car beeping the horn. I love you too. It's very difficult to watch you not doing what I would be doing. Do you want my ceilings? I have a whole pack of ceilings.
Sure.
Okay.
I have to hold my own too.
You better get going. You're gonna be late. He's heading off to the Montreal Temple. I have Altjen Jans Egen, Petronella Periboom, Everhardus Vanderschmidt. Okay. Da, 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 da.
Thank you, my darling. I shall.
You're welcome. It's not many, which is good.
Okay, I only have a few. You can do many anyway.
I thought that's what you're doing today.
I have to for mine.
I thought you were. Oh, I see. Whatever. See, if you have a family around, you can make cookies for them. Here you've got something to do. If you don't have any kids around, you don't want to eat cookies, you don't make cookies. There's all kinds of cookie stuff over here. Hi, darling. I don't have the compost thing inside. It's outside. At the Memento.
That's room in the garbage.
I don't have enough room in this cupboard. Should get rid of some things we don't use. Should always buy extra large, not large. Extra large is the size that we need. So I need to unhook this. I think this is I think that's a 1/2 inch. Sounds like highway city traffic in the morning, doesn't it? What am I looking for now? I'm going to put this away. It was for melting it on the back of melting it on the car. One of these a half, so 9/16. Both 9/16. I don't think that will work. Bigger than a half an inch. Let's see, where's the tools? Where's the box of them? It's missing. Oh dear, I don't like it when things aren't there. How will I find out where it is? Where will it be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Johnny so long at the fair. This looks like it might work. Is that a half inch? 7/16. I bet this is a half inch. It's a real common size. That doesn't look like half, though, does it? Alright, where's my big box of them? I live in such a wonderful place. I used to lay in hammocks all over the place. Now I don't trust any of them. I should take them down and put up new ones. And then hang in hammocks again. I just had a good idea. Get down, kitty, get down, get down. There's lots of water outside. Every container out there is full. Hi. Here we are together again. The more we get together. Together. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Your pens are my pens. Say not. Okay then. Discouragement. Now I have to go back and prowl again. But it's just part of this project, right? How you doing, Willem? I'm just here to nag. Nag, nag. Nag, nag, nag. One half, finally. Okay, is that the right one? 7/16 is next, if not. Hey, get down! Okay, I just got another idea. This shelf thing should go over there. Make 2 shelf things there for her. Okay, so this. What's this? Oh, look, it works. Okay, then. Hi, Bonnie. Have a safe drive in that dangerous
What's
traffic.
that?
Have a safe drive in that dangerous traffic.
Okay.
I learned something about taking out knots. If you pull one back, or in this case, this way, I don't know. Once you can move the knot around, you can probably. Are you done? No, not yet.
The car is warming up and the frost thing.
Oh, there's a couple things in the trunk to take out if you don't mind. There's 2 boards and a little box of self-tapping screws and a roll of chicken wire.
Okay. Put them where and on the
Just
porch
take
or-
them out. Yeah, whatever you want. You just keep it simple.
Okay.
Can you take this out on your way? It's not going to live in the
What,
house.
this?
Yes, please.
Where does it go?
Just out. It does not go right there in the way. The pathway is replete. Okay. There. Thank you, Willem. Okay, so now this is on the back of the thing. Let's go for now. Make the swing level. has to aim down to grab the rope. Just leave them there. That's good. Just outside. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Willem.
Okay.
Maybe should I have the car seats? Maybe I'll get CAA to come and get my car unstuck.
Okay.
Tow it out of there.
Fair enough. Do you have a CAA card on you?
I don't know. But all I have to do is call CAA and then they look up my number.
Okay.
They know my name.
Fair enough.
All right, should we have a prayer before you go?
Yeah. Oh, should we say it?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for blessing us with our wonderful lives. Thank you so much that Willem can go to Montreal. And bless him that he'll be safe as he drives to the temple. Bless him with no accident, difficulty, car trouble, problems with animals, especially deer on the highways, or moose. And please, or raccoons and skunks and porcupines. And we're grateful, so grateful to have thee and to have the gospel in our lives. And we're grateful to have thee walking with us in our lives. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Now, moment of truth.
Oh.
I think I'll scoot this over more that way. Oh, interesting. We're right back where we were at the beginning. So we'll go this way this time. Okay, away
Okay, so
with you.
I'll take the car keys out right in a minute.
Just, yeah, okay. Thank you. Need to get on the road. What are you looking for?
My cell phone.
Oh, yes. Do you want to take, I have an extra one. Won't do you a lot of good, but you can FaceTime me if you need me.
Okay.
You have to be at cell service.
Right. I can't just phone.
This is not, it does not have a SIM card.
Oh, I see.
So you can use it for Wi-Fi only.
Okay. All right.
All right. Goodbye. All right, let's see if this works. I want to go swinging a lot when I swing. Oh, where's my phone? I should have it handy in case I end up having to. was nice and warm. Yeah, really tired. I was looking for my cell phone and when I realized I'm using it. Bye.
Yeah, bye, love you. The car seats are outside there on a chair.
Okay, thank you.
Make sure it's self-stepping screws and a roll of chicken wire and boards.
Okay, thank you so much, dear.
I think I'll scrape the windows.
Okay then. Boy, this is such good exercise for an old lady. Oh, it stretches everything. That's wonderful. My hands don't work on it, but once my body starts limbering up and my shoulders limber up, then I can use my hands. I had to replace that screw because it broke, so I guess this screw should replace because they're both exactly the same. And they've had the same wear and tear. There goes my sweetheart. Bye. Good luck. Oh, let's see what it looks like out here now. What shoes should I wear? Where's my pink shoes and where's my inserts? A house feels much more like a home when it's clean. I don't know why I wear Crocs. Don't bend down. They're easy. Oh, these feel good. Oh yes, the self-tapping screws are for that little bush. Hi, unofficial observer. I'm awesome. Thank you, Lixo. So these are the little self-tapping screws. I just have to figure out how I'm going to climb up there. Oh, look, it's a moon setting. Oh my goodness. Go see it. I got my there it is. Wow, that's pretty. Hold on, I'm gonna take a picture of that. Let's get that lined up. Okay. Click. There. I'll walk up here and look at it. It was cold overnight, eh? It's cold now. I was gonna make snowshoe patterns on the hills this winter, but the snow is never right. The temperature and the snow and my body weren't all in sync at the same time. Oh, here comes the sun. Forgot about that. The sun and the moon are directly opposite of one another when it's a full moon. So there's the sun. Uh-oh, does that mean I've missed the moon? The sun is already that high. I can see the sun, I can't see the moon if it's a full moon. There it is, look. So it's not quite full, because I can see the sun and I can see the moon. Hi, moon. You're late, you're late. It's interesting how the shape of the moons and the time of day that they rise and set are really all related. Look at this stuff. Nice. Today is the 26th, I believe, of April. Mine is 10 in the outhouse. This is supposed to be a horse or a cow or an oxen. The birds start to fly. Oh, there goes an airplane. There goes another airplane. 6 o'clock flights, I guess. It's 6:11. Okay, I have to get down without slipping. It's nice to hear all the sounds outside. It's nice to be out in the morning. This is pretty cool that there's a sunrise and sunset happening, moonset at the same time. And the flights are all just leaving the airport at the beginning of the day. And the birds are singing, chirping happily. These are all the gardens over here. Hiding in plain sight. look at this. The lilacs have finally taken. Those are lilacs. Look at how many lilacs are here. Wow. And another lilac is up here and made it. Isn't this the coolest little place? I just love this. This is the garden shed. Oh, it's much warmer in here. I'll sit on the fleece too. Oh, that's good. I should have a coat on. Hi, Mongol. Hi, kitty. Hi, Mongol. You want to come in? Oh, good. Lilacs are pretty, aren't they? I'm trying to do that with... There, I'm trying to do this so you can see the light. There it is. Okay, frozen fingers and nose alert. Now, is my drill in here? It's just the drill location. Let's see if we can go this way. She planted all the potatoes. Maybe that row looks like it's been worked. Or maybe it's up here. Yeah, she's been working up here too. Where's the pail? I have to bring the pail back. She's been working on the gardens out here. And when they build that house, they'll probably build it down in the valley over there. Down in there. Hey, Mongol. That deserves a photo, doesn't it? Thanks. Theorems and proof. Lots of raised beds. Yes, we've been working. That's my playground. So cool you're here seeing it with me. I love it. Thank you. The bridge is done. I walked on the ice to finish it. I've only been kayaking one day, I think. But I think it's going to get real warm quickly, and then we'll have black flies, so we can't go outside again for a while. So down here will be his house somewhere. There's the outhouse. Don't have a thermometer in mine. Sunrise chair. Oh, look, the trilliums are up. And the trilliums open. That's the day the black flies come out. We're getting closer. Sounds like a pileated woodpecker. Oh no, Harry. Sorry. You see my stuck car down there? See if I can see it from over here. All these trees have fallen. My car is there. Is that right? Yeah, that's my stuck car. I think you could get in there to get it out. Be better if it dries up another day, though. Huh. Woodpeckers had fun here. I'm surprised they would find bugs in a birch tree. I didn't think birches were happy for bugs. I don't know. Boy, it looks like autumn. See, like this hammock and all those others, I have to cut them and throw them away because they might not be safe anymore. I might as well get rid of them this year. That can be one of my projects. Every time I go to a hammock, I cut it off. Garbage won't be there next time you come. I think this little platform can come down now. I think we're done with that. Maybe. I'd like to bring my kiln out here. I could put it out here, I suppose, if I have my cement room right there. Oh, it's much warmer in here. Oh, what a nice place. But I wonder if it works yet. It's gotten finicky lately. No, so what do? Maybe I should Google it and find out. I was thinking of giving it away, but this is a great place. I just need to come and use it. I need to do the kiln, but I'm afraid to do it in here. Sure would heat it up. Have all the clay and have lots and lots of glazes. I'm ready. And this is all stained glass. This is my stained glass table over here with all the other stained glass stuff. This stuff needs to be put on the wall. The walls didn't have tape on them, have the outside stuff on. It's too big a job. I can't do anything right now, right? So I leave. Now, if I had clay that was not frozen, that it was already prepared, I could do something. But no, I have to start from zero and prepare clay. You can put clay in the microwave if it's frozen. Hi. The thyme has grown all over. It's appropriate. It looks like Grandma's house should look with thyme everywhere. Time to get warm again. Maybe call CAA, see if they can come. Oh no, we have to do that later in the day. This is one of those little choke cherry trees, I think. I need the children's table out here. I think I need to measure my warp. Okay. I think I'm done. This is nice and warm here. Oh, perfect. Hello, we meet again. I guess this is where it all started, isn't it? Should we have a prayer before I go? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for being here. Thank you for all my blessings, all of our blessings. Thank you for being with us and letting us apprentice from Thee. Please teach us as we walk with Thee today how to react in each of the situations in our projects. Help us to have a celestial view. Think celestial and not mortal. See it from God's perspective. And from a celestial perspective is so cool because none of this lasts. None of it will come with us. The only thing about a day that will survive is our feelings and attitudes and deeds and thoughts and words. Thoughts, words, and deeds. And help us to pay attention and make it a good day. Please watch over those we love, people heading off to work and commuting or just going places. And thank you for not letting me get stuck, falling in the moat or something. I'm grateful to Thee for all Thy blessings. Thank you for my cold hands, which show that I went outside. Proof. And thank you so much for the Supreme Court and for how they check the anchors of all of the laws and make sure everything's anchored exactly in the Constitution. Thank you so much for this amazing foundation in our lives. And thank you for a Supreme Court that cares enough to check the facts and see what the Constitution really says on every subject. Help us to accept their decisions. Help them to be guided by they will have highest of integrity. That we can have honesty and know exactly what's the right things and what isn't. But we know from thee. Thank you for our consciences that prick us. The little barbed wire fence thou placed along the rod, along the path by the rod of iron. As soon as I get off the path and I trip into that barbed wire, ouch, that's the guilt, ouch. I'm so grateful that thou loves us and thou are here helping us and knowing that we don't have a clue and picking us back up again till we figure it out. Thank you for all the much forgiveness that we get. Man, we keep thee busy, don't we? I suppose if there was somebody better to have sent, thou would have sent them. But we're all thou hast to work with, and so it's pretty good though, isn't it? Thou loves us a lot. We're like kids. We're grown up to be like thee. This is Spinal University. Can you walk with me? Okay, here we go. I love walking with thee. I love having thee beside me. I love having thee to talk to, and I love the little movies I get in my head of how to fix something or how to do the next step in some project or situation. Please help us make good choices. Help us talk to thee. Help us learn from thee. Thank you so much for answering us and for prompting us and giving us nudges. And thank you for the blessings that we can be in other people's lives and that other people are in our lives. I don't have a lot of other people that are not part of my family that are in my life. Mostly it's just my family, but that's so awesome because I've been kind of family deprived since the empty nesting went on. So it's kind of nice to be second time around. And it's so cool that my daughter-in-law is from Vietnam and that grandma and grandpa or mom and dad, they live in the house with the family. It's so nice. It's so nice that we can be together. But it's okay if we are not. That's okay if they're going to have their own house. Please help them build it. Help them to appreciate the time and how quickly time goes. And to be able to get it ready for next winter. They're so young and I was young. We learn from our experience. It's so cool. I'm so grateful to have learned stuff. I don't make the same mistakes anymore. I mean, I do. I need somebody else to be in charge of the studio. And I can just work there. That's what I need. If somebody else takes it over and they be the apprentice and they come to work in the studio regularly and make stuff and they can sell it, pay me for the electricity, they can help set it up. Heavenly Father, that is such an awesome idea. Maybe I'll put that out there in Marketplace. Wanted studio apprentice or pottery studio runner.
Okay, thank you, Heavenly Father. Inspiration again. Thank you for helping me solve my problems. That was a big problem. I mean, nothing has changed except now I know. Now I know what the problem is and what the solution is. I need help. I need people that want to come and help me. That's what I need. I need people that want to come and make baskets with me. And I need people that want to come and make grass huts with me. And people that want to come and work in my studio and do stained glass. And I can do it too once it's up and running, once everything is happening. And they're not here and it's still nice and warm and I can do stuff. That would be so cool. That would be in exchange for them being here, right? They would be here, run the studio, make stuff and sell it in the market. And I would be able, the rent that they would pay would be, they could rent it, pay money, or they could, the rent they pay would be me being able to use clay that they've already reclaimed, which is ready to use. That would be nice. I could go over to Mira and work in their studio, but it's I guess it's like my studio. It's kind of dark and out of the way. I've got so much wood in there now. There's so much stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there. If I took everything out that doesn't need to be in there and start over, that's a good idea. I need to plant 4 posts in the ground, make a room for the kiln, and line it with those cement things, cement boards, and then put the kiln in it. That's what I need to do. And get an apprentice. That would be cool. I need somebody who'd, who should I get? Do I know them? Okay, let's do 20 questions. So this is a good idea. I should have an apprentice come, maybe that's not the right word, but I should have somebody come and run the studio. Is that right? That's a yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, now, the next part. I have to find somebody. What are my possibilities? I could talk to people. I could advertise. I could make a short video. I could put up a sign at the dump. I could put up a sign at Mira. I could ask a few friends. I could put it on Facebook and ask a few friends or ask people in Marketplace. Wanted. How would I word it? Studio. Studio organizer. Studio manager. Yeah, a studio manager. In exchange for managing the studio and reclaiming the clay, which there is an unlimited supply of, so they would have access to free clay from which they could make stuff and sell it. What a, wow, if I was young, somebody offered me unlimited clay and glaze and the use of a kiln and a wheel, I'd think I died and go to heaven. And yet I have all that. Why don't I do it? I need somebody else to come in and do it. And then I can help them prepare the clay. We work together. I could prepare the clay. I have a big beater and I have a drill. I have all that dry clay. I need to know exactly how much water goes into how much clay. And then you submerge it. I have the deep pond, you know. If I knew the exact poundage, the weight of the clay, the weight of the water, I combine them in a container and I tie it tightly closed. And I lower it down to the bottom of the pond. And I leave it there for 15 minutes. The pressure of the weight of the water in the pond will push the water in the little bag into the clay and it'll make perfectly reclaimed clay. And I'll just have to wedge it. Okay, that's cool. That's big. Okay, say I did that. I got it. I got help. How would I get it out of where it is to down to the pond? Well, I could mix up a very small amount, like a little bowl full, a mixing bowl full, and I could take it down to, I could put it in a bucket. I could get it all ready, and I could take it, put it in a bucket, and carry it down Dead Man's Run, and dip it in the pond. Okay, so I could do that, and then I bring it back up. Or I could put a whole bunch of them, carry them all out to the car, put them in a wheelbarrow, one at a time, take them to the car, fill the back of the car with them, all tightly shut plastic bags. I could just tie a rope on each one, lower them in, tie them on the bridge, hang them from the bridge. Okay, so that's how I make the reclaimed clay in mass. But my wheel doesn't work. Okay, so I need a video on how to fix my wheel. What's wrong with it? Maybe you have to take it apart and clean its parts. It's probably very simple. Probably take it outside and hose it down. Take the tray around it out. That's the thing to do, just take it out and hose it down. Maybe I would use it more if it's outside. Cover it. I think it's not supposed to get damp. I think that's what Joanne told me. Anyway, so I could put that right outside of the studio. I could throw clay there. Yeah. Well, I might be glad of it being inside when it gets hot next month. And then the bugs are out. I'll be able to go down there. Okay, so the bugs are cutting out, so we should do all this reclaiming before then. But now we're getting into pressure, so let's not do that. Let's just analyze the situation. Well, it was your idea. You wanted another person, right? So let's stick with that. But I'm thinking until I get another person. What if I put my whole thing on my wheel? Put the whole thing on a platform with wheels on it and roll it out. I can roll it around. Well, I need it to stay in one place when I'm working, but you could lock the wheels.
cool idea. I could put plywood with wheels under it. Thank you. That's a very good idea. Do I have a piece of plywood? I do. I have one that would fit. And I have the skill saw with the battery pack in my car. I could measure what I need, how big I need it, and I could cut a piece off. And I think I have wheels I could screw to the bottom of it. So I could make a little platform, which I would sit on, which I would work on. Okay. So that's how I would put it outside if I wanted to. I could put it out on the other side, out on the deck. Okay, I'd like to bring it up here and have it on the deck right up here. Wash it off, get it ready, have it working. Melt a plastic bag over the electrical, melt a plastic container over the electrical housing so I could keep it all nice and interesting. Then I could use it and I could rinse it down. I wouldn't have to deal with dust and whatever. Or the fact that it's cold or hot out there. Or that it's down the stairs. I think that's the problem, is it's down there. And it's hard to go down there. So I could bring it up here. And if it's on wheels, I could move it around to put it in the sunshine. And wheel it around to put it out of the weather. I was thinking of doing it in the breezeway. And I was thinking of the breezeway. That's a kind of a good project to do today. I want the swing to come out. I want to put the swing by the pond. So the swing needs to come out from the breezeway and go in the trailer. And the trailer can get hooked up to the car when the car gets out. Then I have all the birch bark in there, which for several years I have going to use it, but I don't. So I have to use it again. I did go through it all, and I did find everything I could make into strips, and I made it into strips, and I did things with it. That was good. Now I need to make containers. Anything that's got a big enough piece to make a container out of it, I need to do that. So those will come out of there, all that birch bark. Oh, and I have little screens that go around a child's area for a child to keep out of the bugs. It's like a little tent, a little screen tent with an open front. It doesn't work at all to keep the bugs out, but I want to put one over my swing up there in the sunny deck. I have a bunch of them, a whole box of them, a bin of them. So I was going to put one there, I want to put one out here, put the children's table inside with their chairs. All right, so if I got all that stuff out of there, I could ask Daniel, and he could bring the pottery wheel up for me. Just leave it out here on the deck, and I could take it apart and work on it. And then I could make clay, and I could bring it up from in the car once I got my car unstuck.
Yeah, this sounds like a long-term project. There's quite a few parts to this. But I think I could do that. And I could put in 4 post holes and create a building for the kiln, a little kiln room outside. Put in 4 post holes, and I'll put in the cement board for the walls. Those can be attached to the poles, completely hiding the poles. I could use, I could use pieces of boards from the poles across tops and across the middle, and then fasten the cement board to those. And I could just lay a cement board over the top for the roof. And I could take an extension cord for the electrical. I could make a big, huge extension cord with the big ends on both ends. Then I could use it out there. Or I could have an electrician come and change the wiring and just to lengthen the cord from where it is. Put a connector there and run it down and under the ground and come up down there where it's going to be and have it on a post. These are good ideas, Heavenly Father. I could disconnect one of the upstairs heaters because the heaters, it heats from the wood stove up there. I don't really need the heaters to work. I could disconnect from the upstairs heater, and we could use that spot in the panel box to run an electrical wire out the driveway for Ben's car. And perhaps we would then get one of those kind of cars if we wanted. I don't know. It's kind of a big step. We're supposed to be doing this in a big hurry, but okay. Well, Heavenly Father, thank you so much. This has been very good. I appreciate all of this. So that would solve the problem of the kiln, and that would solve the problem of the wheel, and it would solve the problem of the clay. I have a stack of tools. They could come up here too. And then I can use the pottery stuff can go in that little room there. That'd be much better. Yeah, I could even put shelves on the wall. That's a good idea. And it won't leak in there. It won't be moldy or smell bad, or has a nice view. And it would be convenient to the house. Yeah, I like that. All right, well, thank you, Heavenly Father. I'm grateful for the time that was spent helping me walk through this. Thank you for all my blessings. That blesses me so much. Thank you for helping me figure things out. Thank you for promptings. Well, now we also have this other thing about a manager. So I would still be interested in that. Because maybe they would help me to organize. Well, no. Yeah, well, let's see. Let's just see what happens. Maybe that would be, an apprentice would be a good thing because they can use things wherever they are. And it would help me to be on top, stay on this stuff. Okay, Heavenly Father, I think I'm done. Thank you for everything. These things we pray in them, our Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Wow, my mind is organized now. I look at the trailer and I think, okay, the trailer needs to have that swing put in it. Now, How much of moving that swing by myself can I do? It's sort of tangled up in there. Daniel will help me. When Daniel gets up, when it's warm, when he's ready, he'll help me that. I'd like to do the kiln. I could bring up the post hole digger. I could put clay. I have clay in boxes. I have lots of boxes of clay in bins. I haven't done pottery for 10 years. It was in the sunroom when I used to do it before. I really liked it when the wheel was in the sunroom, but I think the wheel being on the deck is the best, don't you? And then I can wash it off with the hose. Figure out what's wrong with it. I just want to go down there and get it, but of course, I have finally become like other women that can't carry things and move stuff, and they just stay in the house and don't do everything because it's too heavy. They let the men folk do it. Yeah, so if I had, I call my electrician, go down there and meet him at the bus stop, and ask him about this. I think he could do that. The post hole digger. Dig 4 post holes. I have the posts here. So I have to dig it and drop them in. I don't want it attached to the house. I want it far enough away from the house that if it gets really hot, it's not going to be a danger to the house. I mean, it will be really hot. It's going to be terribly hot. But if the heat gets out, I don't want it to burn anything in the house. That whole room is made of cement down there, so it's really pretty safe. But I don't want it in the house. I may have to get rid of it. Might not work. I have a lot of fear now. Shouldn't have so much fear, Fear is not good. So fear, if you think of it in terms of like the Supreme Court thing yesterday was so interesting. So now, fear is my theorem. We've got to prove a theorem. So the theorem is, if I turn on, it's like a hypothesis, isn't it? A theorem is if I fire the kiln in the studio, it will go wrong and I'll have a fire. That's a theorem. Now, what's the proof of that theorem? All right, well, if it was in a grass hut, yes, that would definitely happen. It would burn up. What if it has cement walls all around it, where it is right now? Well, no, it can't burn anything. It's all contained in the cement walls. So what is the proof of this theorem? This fear that's going around that if I use the kiln, it'll burn everything up. If I put the stuff, the stuff is around it now. And it's already loaded. If I fire the kiln and do a bisque firing. Now, Joanne has said if I want to fire the kiln, she will come and help. It was her kiln once. See, if I make it outside, I have to make sure it doesn't get wet. So the theorem and the proof. So if you're going to have a fear, you have to figure out what is your hypothesis. What is it that you actually think is going to happen? And then find the proof of it. Am I hearing you? Or is that a cat? It's 7 o'clock. I could be hearing a person soon. Oh, I have my exercise classes today. I have to get my car out of there. It's frozen right now. Maybe that would be easiest time to get it out is when the ground is frozen. The ground is solider then. Yeah. Maybe I should phone CAA. Okay. Get my car out, then I can do stuff. Like get my car back and forth and go down there and up there. Pull the trailer around, get a load of manure. First I gotta take that swing down, if I can. Then go and see if I can get a load of manure. I have to call about that. I should make a list. Swing, manure, kiln poles, fire the kiln, call Joanne, ask for an apprentice. I think an apprentice would probably enjoy doing all this too. Apprentice would probably enjoy constructing the kiln area. I mean, if they're going to make pottery and sell it for free, all they have to do is come and do it and prepare, get stuff going so I can use it too. I'll use it when they're not using it, but it'll be good. The only thing that is a problem is getting the clay prepared enough. But it's free clay. It's not $50 a box. It's really good clay. It's Joanne's recipe. She's got 2 recipes in there, and they can mix together. They're all clone 6. Well, you can use some at cone 10, or 7, or 8, or 9. I don't know what the numbers are anymore. Cone 6 is the bisque firing. It's interesting to read these comments that people have made from 10 years ago. I had just emptied out the kiln. It's when the kiln was sitting about right here where I'm sitting. See, there's this box on the wall now. Where is that box? It's right, there's some mugs there. There it is. You see that line goes across right there, that line? Okay, there's an electrical panel there. Oh, that's the bottom of it. It's above it. There it is. So that's an electrical panel, and in it is the 220 wire. Unless they fed it backwards, but it's got that on the wall. Maybe it's still there. I think they fed it backwards and actually removed it. Did they remove it from the panel box too? Anyway. And then they ran the one from the panel box. They ran to made another panel box and then put the kiln wire in there. But 10 years ago, the kiln sat right here in this area. It was a shed back then. Remember the wood shed?
was a really awful woodshed. All the logs were right here. This was all logs. This chair is right on the path. That was hard work this morning doing all this, figuring it all out, wasn't it? Figuring it out is a project of its own. Yes, I'm looking forward to using hot water on it and taking that wheel, seeing if I can. It's probably just clay has gotten stuck in there. I can probably do it see it from underneath. Depends how the motor is connected to all of this and where the motor is. And of course, it is a wheel which works with water and clay, so it must be somewhat waterproof. I guess I need to phone CAA. That's my first order of business. So I have to get off of here because I can't be having you guys hear all the details of my name and address and phone number and blah, 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 blah. That's got to be kept secret. Well, I guess, and I could go to Gentle Balance, but I need my car to be fixed. I really need to get some exercise. Okay, then. I'm going to call CAA now while it's still frozen, and maybe it'll be easier for them to get it out. Well, it was really fun talking to you. Thanks for spending the morning with me. Bye-bye.